Welcome once again to Noah's Snark, where... What the fuck? Did I just forget the intro to our own show? I've done it 45 times. Sorry. Well,
hey guys, you know the drill.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it
I
right.
believe you.
Welcome once again to Noah's Snark, where two former religious types and current snarks take a look at religious media on its own terms.
I'm Hillary.
And I am Josh, aka Thanksgiving Sucks.
Word up.
That's it. That's all I gotta say about that.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
But before we talk about why Thanksgiving sucks, I hear you have some hits and misses from our Facing the Giants.
Yeah, I do. I actually have a few. First and foremost, I believe on that episode I stated that Hanukkah starts on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it does not. It's December 3rd.
Oh, okay.
So in case people who are listening to this podcast, and I'm the only reason you are prepping for Hanukkah, quick, change your schedule.
Actually, accelerate your schedule because she gave you extra days you don't have.
It's true. You got to get on it. 3 days short. Also, we were talking about the whole Hamilton thing.
Yes.
And at some point you said something about Andrew Jackson, and he's the one who died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have no idea who you were talking about, but he died, older and of illness. So
yeah, I was thinking about Andrew Jackson having been in a duel.
Oh, okay.
He did kill a guy.
He killed a guy.
Yes,
and
but I knew he didn't die.
Killed. Okay,
because
I brought that up because I wanted to know. I knew you were thinking about something specific, and I had no idea what it was.
Andrew Jackson is the president I associate with having dueled and murdered a guy.
Okay.
And he had. Okay. But he did not die of dueling. I was probably misspeaking.
I had a great book back in, when I was in college. One of my classes required this president's book.
Yeah. That
had so much actually interesting information about all of the presidents, and I wish I could find it again. Weird aside. Anyway, I said cherries were ruined by Dimetapp. Incorrect. It was children's Tylenol. Dimetapp was mostly purple, and that was my favorite.
Okay.
I used to feign ill to get Dimetapp. Which should give you an idea of the adult I am now.
So, as a child, Hillary was robo-tripping.
Word up. Fucking love Dimetapp.
Cool.
I wouldn't mind using it as a mixer nowadays. It's delicious. And then also, we have our first hit that I can think of.
Oh.
I nailed it with Hoggish Greedley. That came straight from my memory. No idea. And I really thought I had made it up. And I looked it up while I was editing. I'm like, holy shit, I got that
Hoggish Greedley nailed it.
Point. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking of Duke Nukem, just because that's the only Captain Planet bad guy I know.
Duke Nukem's not in Captain Planet. He's that video game bad guy.
He may not be Duke then, but he's some Nukem.
There's
he's
a Nukem
something
of sorts?
Yeah. He's something Nukem.
Well, our next episode we'll do a hit or miss on that.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what we did a pretty good job. But just covering some bases there.
Let's talk about the election.
In the last episode, we opened with our reactions to what what was going to maybe possibly be the outcome of the midterms. Mm-hmm. And we still don't
initially
know.
decided. Right. We initially said we'd see how it went, and then either use the congrats, or the you fucked up part,
right?
And you were like, "It's probably going to be really late." You called it correctly.
Yeah.
It's going to be really late, so I'm going to just put in both.
We put in both so that people can understand what we were going for, and there's humor in that in itself.
Right.
But also, we did not know which way it was going to go. We knew it was going to be probably too close to call.
Right. And by the time the episode comes out, you're not going to be up at.
No, I'm
the next morning at 2 a.m.
I'm a very sleepy girl.
Waiting for results.
Hell no. And even if I had, there weren't any for Georgia. We still don't know who our governor is right now.
So it's funny because by choosing both, you predicted it.
Yeah, and totally covered both bases,
because I believe both answers are the answer.
It's true. What we talked about is we gained some headway in the House and lost some in the Senate, so
it's a mixed success.
Yeah, good job.
I'll take the success.
Yeah.
But it's not the success I wanted.
It's not the success I wanted, and until I find out whether they're going into a runoff, if Stacey Abrams and Kemp go into a runoff, I consider that a win.
Yeah.
Considering he's the one who
cheated.
He's the one in charge of fucking voting in the city or in the state of Georgia, which is such a conflict of interest that's boggling.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so that's that.
So I'm sticking with both reactions as being correct.
It's true.
Congratulations, America.
And
you did it.
Congrats.
And you still managed to fuck it up.
And you fucked it up. Classic America.
But again, I'm mostly happy.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things like, what the fuck?
Honestly, it's the first wins we've had in any, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, this has been a problem for a decade.
Right.
Under Obama as president, Democrats, who, I'm not even a Democrat, but you know what I mean.
I'm an independent.
Right, I'm a strong independent, but
it's just been harder for
one
me to
side
see
is
the other
clearly
side.
better.
It's clearly better.
Like, when they come back around to not being ridiculous,
it wasn't always that way, and I'll admit that, but lately it's impossible.
Yeah, but Democrats lost 1,000 seats in state houses and actual house, and like all over the country.
Right.
The other day, regained 333 of them.
Right.
That is not like a resounding, absolute crushing.
No.
But that is a crazy success.
That is worth,
right. It has been a slow whittling for 10 years of losing 1,000 seats and just regain a third of them right away.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We're going in a...
It's just not the way I want
wave
it.
they're talking about, which I consider to be a bit hyperbolic.
Yeah. But that's a wave. I mean,
that's a wave.
third.
No, that's something. That's more than I
undoing a third of all the damage that happened?
Yeah.
That's a wave.
Yeah.
It's not the...
As a pretty cynical, dejected person,
right.
I'm pretty stoked.
Right. So, hopefully just keep that up.
Yeah.
But again, you did it. Fucked it up.
I really never thought I'd be openly political, but that's the times we're in. That's not who I ever was before.
Apolitical is political at this point.
You're absolutely right.
Why don't you tell us what we're doing today?
Oh, today we are doing Touched by an Angel, doing a couple special Touched by an Angels themed around Thanksgiving. Or
That's
I guess
right.
they are the Thanksgiving episode, but it's hard to say they're themed around Thanksgiving.
It's hard to say, but
yeah.
It's their frame device for some of these stories.
Right, it's supposed to be a Thanksgiving episode.
And let's describe I'm going to one sentence for the experience we went through today.
Okay,
or if you have one for each, go for it.
I have one for each,
okay.
But yeah, do you have one for each or one?
I have one that should fit both.
Do your blanket statement, and then I'll do one at a time from now on.
Angels are messengers of God sent to ruin your fun.
Yeah. Yes! That is the most succinct way to cover both of these episodes, and potentially the entire series.
But let's do the first one.
The first one, I just said, angels use magic house to force a wife to befriend her husband's mistress.
Yeah.
This is a fucked up episode.
Well, let's talk about it.
Alright.
The first episode we watched today is called An Unexpected Snow, and it opens simply with our main characters, Tess and Monica. They're outside, and they're clearly planning something. Presumably for the episode we're about to watch.
We're going to say scheming. Can we say scheming?
Scheming, right. Yeah. If you don't know, Tess and Monica are angels. Mm-hmm. Monica is Roma Downey. Yes. Tess is Della Reese.
We cover this in an earlier episode. We do a Touched by an Angel episode, and it covers the first episode of the entire series. So if you go back and listen to that, you'll get a better idea of what these two are about. Right,
but they're angels. It's pretty simple, really. And they are waiting for a woman who is apparently late. And Tess tells Monica that there's no such thing as late because destiny picks its own time. When asked by Monica what to do when destiny arrives, Tess replies that destiny doesn't happen. It arrives. When it does, you either batten down the hatches and wait for it to blow over, or you swing open the door and invite it in for supper.
Alright, whatever.
It
sounds deeper than it is.
It really does. So we now cut to the actual point of the story, and there's a woman who's driving along a road in a car, as our two angelic main characters are watching. Mm-hmm. She is either talking to herself or on a car phone that we can't see, but I believe it's just herself.
It's herself. They didn't think they have the car phones that you could... They didn't have a hand-free car phones yet. Yeah,
but she's prepping herself up to talk to somebody, and she's getting very emotional about it all. And this is Megan.
Megan.
What about Megan?
She's blonde. She looks like the 90s.
She does look like the 90s. On the other side of the road, we have another woman who is on an actual cell phone. She's talking lawyer stuff about briefs and briefings and depositions. And she's being very businessy and unemotional. And this is Susanna.
Susanna, by the way, I knew immediately because she is Christy Thomas's mom in the Babysitter's Club movie, which I have seen a kabillion times.
Okay. Well, there you go. So if you need to know, it's Christy Thomas's mom in the Babysitter's Club.
Yes. She's great. I love her.
We cut between Susanna talking on the cell phone and Megan talking to herself. back and forth, until eventually they nearly collide on the road, because neither of them was driving terribly safely.
They were both weaving in and out of lanes.
But they managed to avoid each other. They just sort of crash off the side of the road. No, crash is a strong word.
Yeah.
Run off the side of the road.
Right. Neither of their cars look that damaged.
Yeah, they're like, we can't drive. But yeah, you can. At least one of those cars.
Did you get like a little bit of panic? You're like, one of them had a cell phone, but she didn't have service at that point. Mm-hmm. You're like, wow, when that happened, what did they do? Like, what did we do back then when we just like crashed on a like abandoned highway in the mountains? Mm-hmm. You know, that nobody's going to drive by. You just walk for hours.
Yeah.
Hoping that you don't get picked up by a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nightmares.
I did it a couple times as a kid because my dad would run out of gas.
Yeah.
Stupid. But they get out of their cars and they argue about whose fault it was. It's you did it, and then you're on the cell phone, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter.
Whatever, they're both wrong.
Because Tess and Monica smirk at each other, and they talk about destiny, because this was clearly the plan the whole time. Mm-hmm. To put these women in mortal danger.
Yep.
Drive them off the side of the road.
Yeah, and then kidnap them.
And lure them into their house. But the house doesn't exist yet.
No.
Because while Tess and Monica are smirking at each other, a fancy house just manifests out of nowhere in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah, like a gated community house.
Yes. Which is a power that we have not yet seen in the show so far. So that was pretty weird.
This is the first season, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So it's been 8 episodes, and suddenly we've gone from Monica can make doves appear to Monica can manifest an entire house full of stuff we'll talk about.
Yeah, lots of stuff we'll talk about.
But now it's time for the theme song.
Yeah.
Good old Della Reese doing Della Reese things.
I know, it sounds great.
I'm convinced it's her.
It has to be her.
Yeah.
I love that neither of us have looked it up.
That's true. Because she sings in this episode. Sounds exactly alike.
She does sing in this episode. I know. I guess it's just like, yeah. I'd be absolutely shocked if it wasn't her.
After the theme song, Monica and Tess intercept the arguing women and invite them inside their brand new house because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The lawyer, Susanna, considers faking a neck injury for a second.
Yeah, I like that moment.
They're like, are you both okay? And she holds your neck. She's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you lawyer.
Lawyer move.
And Monica charms them into her magic god house. Just sort of being Monica style.
Yeah.
She's very strange.
I would not have gone with these women.
Like, why are you on the side of the road?
They admitted they admitted off the bat that they don't have a cell phone in this house. Mm-hmm. So it's like the only reason I would go with them is that there's a phone, or they don't have a phone at all. Yeah. They're like, the phone hasn't been installed yet. I'm like, what year is it again? Like,
it's like 1994.
Phones.
Yeah.
This is a fancy ass house.
You built a house without a phone in it.
I would go in to call somebody, but if they're like, we don't have a phone, I'm like, you can't take me.
They also don't have a car.
They don't have a car or a phone. I'm like, you're not useful to me. That's not useful to me.
It's not even that useful. That's just strange.
Yeah.
You live here in the middle of nowhere.
These two women are just like wandering this highway.
Yeah.
A house that was not there is there now.
Uh-huh. Let's assume they don't know that.
Okay.
So the house has always been there.
It was right there, though.
I know, but let's assume, it's God magic and he can do whatever he wants.
Right, and yeah.
Yeah, but there's women living in a house in the middle of nowhere.
Right, with no car, no phone.
No car, no phone, no way to contact the outside world.
Where were they? Where were they coming from?
It doesn't... Even if they live there, what the fuck are they doing?
I don't know.
How do they get food?
Yeah, how do they get food? I guess they have some gardening situation.
They grow their own tomatoes and just eat tomatoes.
They only, or they have a llama. Maybe they milk the llama.
Oh, there you go.
They're on that David Bowie diet, just like peppers and milk.
They're actually working on an album. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, they also make their own LSD.
Yeah, Monica and Tess are going to make the next Station to Station.
Great.
It's pretty good. It's a good album.
Della's the lead singer, I'm assuming.
Oh, obviously. Roma is the producer. She's just leveling out stuff. Okay. The women get convinced to go inside the house, and the lawyer keeps looking for a signal on her cell phone, mm-hmm. and she's like, oh, I think I've got... And then the llama surprises her, and she goes, ah! Llama!
I love llamas.
Llamas are pretty adorable.
I think they're hilarious.
Yeah, they're the weirdest animals.
They have the dumbest looking faces.
They have the dumbest looking everything.
Llamas are super stupid looking, and then alpacas are super stupid looking, but cuter.
Yeah. Llamas are stupid looking, period.
Yeah, everything
their fur
about
is stupid.
Them. Right.
Their limbs are stupid.
They don't seem like they should be able to be upright the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're just strange animals. I know that we asked a lot of questions about the logistics of angels becoming humans last time. Like, what do you do with eating?
Right.
Using the bathroom?
Right.
Horny?
Yeah.
Like, what happens when you experience human things for the first time as a corporeal being?
Right.
But now I'm really curious about how this god house suddenly has a llama.
Yeah.
They have a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
there is a closet full of clothes for everybody.
Yes.
Like, what is this house? And I get it, all things are possible through him because he's the magic entity in the sky, but like...
It's a house full of everything they need and nothing else.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. None of the thing about this episode was cool with me.
Yeah, we're not even really real story yet.
Yeah.
But it's weird that God would throw miracles around left and right, as in manifesting a house full of everything, and not bother to deal with people directly, instead sending angels to do it for him. Under disguises.
And to cover very just minor human infractions.
That's true.
Yeah, this isn't even a major deal.
Like, yeah, like even the plot of this story.
They're going through all of this just because... Well, should we get to the plot now? Like...
Let's keep it a surprise.
Okay, well, yeah. Either way, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. When there are child soldiers.
Dude.
There are human traffickers. There are... drugs ravaging entire parts of nations.
Most people are not getting magic houses fixing their problems.
But we get angels to solve this relatively minor interpersonal conflict.
Right, yeah. That doesn't even really exist yet.
Yeah. So let's move forward and we'll talk about the minor interpersonal conflict.
Cool.
Susanna the lawyer tries to start a fight with Megan, but Tess cuts her off and tells her to be at dinner. Both of them are going to be at dinner, and they should both bring a word to the table that the others do not know. And this is funny because at one point Susanna says, "What is this, a game?" And Tess goes, "Yeah."
Yes.
Which is another creepy thing to say when you've just enticed two women into your house.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere with no phone and no car.
It's like, yeah, if they had said led into a murder mysteries plot line, I would have been so much more happy, yeah.
And this is when we found out that the house is full of clothes because Megan is packing the clothes. Because she's planning on leaving. It's like, are you going to steal this woman's clothes?
Wait, say that again?
Megan, the 90s looking woman.
Yeah.
Is packing the clothes from the closet into a little...
She's not. I think she was unpacking her clothes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw...
And then she opens the closet and there's like a sweater or something there. She's like, oh, this is cute.
Okay. I saw a suitcase and clothes, I thought, going into it. And I was like, is she stealing this woman's clothes? No,
well, she starts unpacking and then she like seems to like change her mind. She starts packing up again and then she's like, she can't decide whether she's staying or not.
Okay, that's what I had messed up.
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, don't steal Monica's clothes. I mean, she doesn't need them, but don't steal them.
I mean... This is a mystery house right now.
It's a mystery house.
We don't know what they're up to, yeah.
We also meet Adam, who is another angel, maybe? Is he the guy from the first episode?
I guess we could bring this up later, but is there something going on between him and Monica? Because they have a different way of of interacting with each other.
Well, we did mention before that Monica's very flirty, just generally.
She is, but they're just they seem more intimate than they should be.
Yeah.
Considering he's the angel of death.
See, that's the thing. This Adam is not the angel of death, I don't think. Yes, he is.
Yeah, they talked about it.
Well, is he the angel of death or an angel of death?
Well, that I don't know.
Yeah.
They call him the angel of death.
Oh, in this one?
Either this one or the next one.
Right, but the next one is a guy named Andrew.
Well, that's a different character completely.
That's what I mean.
But I thought Adam was the one they called the angel of death.
No, I know Andrew's definitely...
Andrew and Adam look too similar, I can tell you that much.
Exactly
They're just brunette white guys, about the same height.
So we meet Adam, who is posing as the owner of the house, I think. And he is...
No, he's a friend that's passing by.
Okay, whatever his story is supposed to be. Now the women are involved with two mystery women who have enticed him to this house.
Yeah.
And a man who's just hanging out with his friends. Also in the middle of nowhere with no phone and no car. This is either serial killers.
Yeah.
Or some sort of weird orgy.
Yep. It's definitely a culty type of
It's a culty type experience no matter what. And
they're he just shows up out of nowhere. They're like, oh, he was just passing by. He's going to have dinner with us too, blah, blah, blah. And it's weird, can you drive me somewhere? He's like, I don't have a car. And then they do ask him. They're like, how'd you get here? He's like, I got dropped off. They don't even hide it that they're lying straight to their faces.
It's really stupid. This whole plan is really dumb.
Yeah.
But they are finally going to exchange words. The lawyer brings up quittance, which is paying a debt, or a debt that's to be paid.
Something.
It's legal. A legalese word, right?
Yeah.
And Megan calls her out and said, you're using legalese. That doesn't count. It's not real words.
It is real words.
It's absolutely still real words.
I don't understand that argument. That's a great word to learn.
And, I mean, it should be pointed out that quittance is archaic. Yeah. It's not a word in use anymore.
Still, it's a word.
But the word that Megan's about to use is also archaic. Because I looked it up. She says it's rotomontade.
Yeah, I'd never heard that before, ever.
Neither have I, and I looked it up, and she mispronounced it.
Of course she did.
According, at least, to Google, and I listened to it so I could hear it properly.
How does it go?
It's rotomontade.
That sounds way more like a word. What she said sounded like a foreign combination of words.
Yeah, because I typed it like as she said it. Rotomontade. Nothing.
Right.
So I was like, okay, let's try a few. I changed the D to a T or a D to a... I was like, okay, finally. And they're like, do you mean rotomontade?
Do you mean... bless you, Google.
And so I clicked it and it was like, archaic, rotomontade. But it means to be boastful and pretentious and...
It's supposed to be an
insult.
An insult, too.
Because Megan doesn't like the lawyer any more than the lawyer likes Megan. Susanna leaves the table because she's been insulted. And Monica and Tess then talk about this moment of destiny that they're going through while the women are out of the room. Mm-hmm. And in Tess's words, it's not a destiny of love that is happening here, but a destiny of truth. So they have to nurture a friendship that may not last long, but it will be based on the truth. This is apparently between Megan and Susanna.
Yeah.
We then find out through visual elements. They both have a figure. They both have a picture of their man.
Yeah.
That Susanna's husband is Megan's boyfriend.
Yep.
Oh, that's the point of this episode.
Super. What the fuck?
So they've lured these women into this house to make them get along.
Right.
So that they will be friends before they find out that they actually have a
connection.
Yeah.
And that is this garbage man.
Right. I'm gonna be honest, I zoned out for a little bit right here, right after they revealed this, like back from this commercial break, I was just like, But they talk about cardigans and there's cars talk. Adam was supposed to go fix a car, I think.
Adam was going to fiddle with their cars and try to quote unquote fix them.
Yeah. And
so that it seems like anybody's trying to help them in an actual way.
Yeah.
Right.
And Tess tells Susanna to go ahead and get secure in the house because the car work is going to take all day anyway, and dinner's at 8, and they're going to eat dinner. So, shut up and get comfy.
Right.
Adam the angel...
Put on your grapes cardigan that we have upstairs for no reason.
Adam hangs out with a turkey while he's working on the car.
I like the turkey. Like, I like this little side plot.
And I did have a question right away, and it's going to happen maybe. I'm like, are they going to murder this turkey after Adam hangs out with it all day?
Well, they told him from the get-go not to get attached, and then Della Reese has been implying that is the turkey they will be eating, and it's his task to kill the turkey, because he's the angel of death. Mm-hmm. So he's supposed to kill it like he kills everything else, but he's like, it doesn't work like that, and then he already named it Alexander or something, I can't remember.
I know people do it, especially like people who live on farms and stuff, like know the animals and they kill them, but it always seemed cold-blooded to me.
Makes sense to me. I mean...
Like, you're about to murder it. Why would you want to name it and stuff?
No, definitely not doing that. They're usually people who work on farms are better about that.
That's what I mean. But, like, I've heard of it. Like, yeah, we had a pet pig. Then we killed it and ate it.
Yeah, like, delicious.
What? Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Right.
Pigs are delicious.
Yeah.
But it seems weirder to me to name it and then murder it than to just be like, it's just a turkey. We're going to kill it later. I don't think that is
as common as one with it. And that's why she told him not to name it.
Right.
Yeah, and he did it anyway. As I would have too. Also, I hate turkeys. I hate them. They scare the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah, they're too big, huh?
Yeah, they're big and they're stupid. Yeah. And that's a bad combination. And sharp. They're big, stupid, and sharp.
But they're majestic.
No, they're not.
They were almost
They are the ugliest
country animal
thing. I know, it would have been ridiculous.
I know, I'm kidding. They're not majestic.
Have you ever been around a group of them? It is the most unsettling thing.
I've seen very few animals live.
I was somewhere that had 3 turkeys. And they were ginormous. And they were so scary as a group. Like, birds in groups, in general, are up to no good.
I have this weird thing where I'm not scared of animals, generally.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
Honestly, if a lion walked up to me, it would be, like, hard for me not to pet it. I would not, like, I'm assuming I would feel fear when I know I'm about to die by the hands of a bear or a lion.
Right.
But also, I would be conflicted because I really like that animal. It's fine. Meanwhile, groups of geese, groups of swans, groups of turkeys, large birds that are also stupid and
aggressive.
And aggressive. Yeah, no good. No, not cool for Hillary. I will punt it.
Susanna's trying to get a signal, but she manages to drop her phone. And when trying to retrieve her phone, she falls into a pond, which finally begins to open Susanna up to the experience.
She's having a really great time now.
Yeah, falling into the water, and she's like, well, I'm wet now, I may as well roll around.
My first thought is like, oh, that's a really nice sweater.
Right.
She has a white sweater, and she's in this mud. I'm like, oh, that's going to be hard to clean.
But Megan comes out and sees her having fun and takes pictures of her, and they finally begin to bond and get along. And Megan tells Susanna just how hot she is.
Yep. I thought this was starting something.
Yeah, this could have been a much better way to take this episode.
Absolutely. Screw the man. They're together now.
But Megan tells her how hot she is while they talk about their significant others, which is the same guy, as we know.
Yeah.
She's like, my boyfriend is so nice. And she's like, my husband's real nice, too.
Does yours look like a potato? Mine looks like a potato.
Exactly. You dating a potato man? Well, yeah, all men are potatoes.
He looks like a potato.
Susanna advises Megan to make sure that she doesn't let this great guy slip through her fingers. Because if you have something great, you don't let it get away. See, it's dramatic irony.
No, is that what it is?
Because she's telling Megan advice to help her keep her man. It's a whole thing.
Ugh, God, I hate this so much.
Megan and Monica talk about how photography is a little bit of a fuck you to death.
Yeah.
Not in those exact words.
Well, wait, what's her name again? Megan.
Megan.
Yeah. Like, why you like photography so much? She's like, well, I just kind of see it as a way to be like, what did she say exactly? I
don't remember exactly.
Well, you can cut this out.
But yeah, she says it lasts forever even after you die. So no matter what happens, you always have this picture.
Yeah.
And it is, and I was like, okay, that's fair. Fuck you, death.
It's like, yeah.
And then Adam's in the doorway and he's like, you sure?
I'll show you.
I'll show you death.
I'm gonna go murder a turkey.
I'm gonna make sure I follow up on you in about 3 years. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, 3 years. Do you think angels of death would do that if they were on Earth? Like if you piss them off?
Kill you sooner? Or
not necessarily kill you sooner, just let you know. Yeah, just let you know or get excited.
I don't
Because
know.
Megan's in her like 20s,
There's gotta
maybe
be
30s.
something stopping them from letting them know.
Yeah.
But relishing it is something that I'm sure that they
absolutely
do. Yeah.
But it's just, sort of a funny concept because Megan's in her late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And so he just looks at her and goes, I'll see you in 3 years. She's like, wait, what?
3? You drive like an idiot.
I'm going to be 30. Yeah, you do. But I just imagine, if I was an angel of death, I would absolutely do it. Especially people who had, like, shorter spans.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, just know I'm the angel of death. You're 15. I'll see you at 25. Okay. You little douchebag. While Adam is out working on the car, the guy who is the guy for both of these gals sees him working on it, and he heads to the house because it is his wife's car.
Yeah.
And he's worried about her.
Like, where's the woman whose car this is? Oh, she's inside that giant mansion house.
She's at the bottom of this cliff.
I killed her. She's in the trunk.
Right. But this is John. This is the man that both women are seeing. And he's about to be confronted with his wife and girlfriend, as we know, but he doesn't yet.
Right.
So he comes into the house and he sees Susanna, his wife, first. And he's distraught because he thought that she was dead.
Right.
And he says, I thought I lost you. But Megan is on the staircase.
There's so much panic in the 90s. There's no way to communicate.
That's true. And her cell phone wasn't working, so she didn't have any way to call him or anything.
Right.
To be fair, this is reasonable. He's like, oh,
it's
shit,
very reasonable.
my wife
And
is
then
dead.
he does find her car, and it's like off to the side of the road with a strange man.
Megan is on the staircase and watches them the whole time while they sort of reconcile and give smooches to each other.
Yep.
And Megan's devastated. But she does play it off.
She does play it off. Then they do that whole, like, oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Suzanne says, this is my
glances.
husband, John.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah.
Cool.
Nice to see you.
Very nice to meet you.
Uh-huh. So it's clever, she doesn't.
None of them do a great job.
Yeah, well, we'll find out later exactly how good a job she did.
Right.
But Susanna is just beginning to relax. But Megan crumples up the picture that she had taken of her, and the husband-boyfriend is talked into staying for dinner because he doesn't want to blow up his spot just yet.
Yeah.
He's also trying to play it cool.
He's trying to play it cool, but also he wants to get the fuck out of there.
Right, so he's like, yeah, we should go. And Susanna's
Yeah.
like, nah, we're going to stay for dinner. And he's like, ah! Can you imagine anything I want less? Outside, Megan and Monica talk about her amazing boyfriend, Jack. She knew he was married, but every relationship she's had with single men has been a mess. So she liked this one just for the simplicity and the lack of expectations. And yet, somehow, and predictably maybe, feelings crept in, and now she's all torn up about all of it. Especially now that she's met the woman who haunted her relationship with her boyfriend.
Right.
Susanna. So Monica calls this an unexpected snow. That's the name of the episode.
That's the name of the episode. I still don't really get it.
It's a moment when the sky is completely clear, and then in the next, the sky is falling down. And you can run inside and hide from it, or you can become a part of it and let it change you.
Yeah, I hate that analogy, because if it starts snowing, you should get inside, unless you were absolutely prepped for it.
Yeah.
Don't become a part of the snowdrift.
You'll be dead.
Exactly. Yeah, no, your only option is to find shelter.
Now, for his part, Tess now demands that Adam murder the turkey, but he doesn't want to.
I know, he loves him.
But she tells him, one way or the other, the turkey dies.
I like Adam.
It is Thanksgiving dinner time, and there is a nice roasted turkey on the table. Which means, like, when did he kill this turkey? Because you're supposed to cook your turkey, like, all day.
Yeah.
And I imagine killing and preparing a turkey.
And, gut it, and...
Like, takes a while.
Feathering and shit takes forever.
So, like, when did he do all that? I mean, I know they're angels, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
If they can do whatever they want, why do they have a turkey that he's apparently supposed to kill?
We'll find out in a little bit.
It's just weird to me that, like...
No, I know, we just, cut to, this is a fully cooked turkey. It's now 12 hours later.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's Thanksgiving dinner time, and we get a nice, thorough prayer from Monica, who makes a reference to snow, to dig it into Megan. And I'm beginning to think that Monica might be a bit of a dick.
Yeah. I don't like her. I really don't.
Yeah, she plays the aloof weirdo.
Yeah.
But really, it seems like she's just kind of an asshole.
She's kind of an asshole and really, self-righteous about it.
Yeah. But Megan goes into the kitchen for gravy, and Jack follows, making some pretense about napkins. And it's the worst pretense ever.
Everybody good with napkins?
He's like, I need more napkins.
Anyone need another napkin?
Like, what do you mean? You have a large cloth towel.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I need napkins. Do you need napkin?
Yeah.
Napkin?
We've only eaten soup.
Right. But him and Megan talk about the situation, and Megan thinks that he doesn't give his wife enough credit, because she's actually sweet and warm and charming, and their plan is to just get through tonight, and they'll work it out. But this is apparently a promise that old Jack has made before. Megan always knew that he had a wife, but she's only now beginning to realize that he's married.
Yeah.
Which is I guess it's a
I get it.
Reasonable play on words.
Yeah, just right.
Megan continues to pretend not to know this man, and Della Reese is about to sing for us. And honestly, I feel like this episode is a lot of filler.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in here that we just don't need.
Yeah.
The Della Reese singing. I don't mind Della Reese singing. She's a good singer.
Yeah.
But I don't need this in this episode.
No, and it's not moving in any way.
It's not about anything.
It seems very manipulative, because the song choice is... Do you remember what it's called?
No.
Shit. I should have written that down. It's something about love, but something in a way that we're like, clearly everybody's going to hear this and hear their situation in it, and it's going to really upset Megan. Which it does.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The song is very explicitly aimed at Megan again.
Right.
Which just seems rude.
It's so mean. Why, and this entire episode, and we'll talk about it again later, is about how she's wrong and everybody else is fault. This is her fault. Mm-hmm. This whole situation is Megan's fault, and she's the one who needs to deal with the consequences. Mm-hmm. The guy gets nothing.
He suffers no consequences.
No consequences whatsoever.
In fact, we're going to talk a little bit later about any consequence he does get.
Exactly.
But it's
whatever.
Minor.
Go on.
But this upsets Megan. She runs outside to throw some rocks into the pond that Susanna fell in earlier. And she's just upset. Because when you sing a song targeting her to upset her after making a dig at her at a prayer...
And forcing her to watch her boyfriend that she's in love with be with his wife.
She gets predictably upset. But she now realizes, with her and Monica talking, that she's just the other woman and a secret. And she did the one thing she swore she'd never do. But after enough nights spent alone, you go to other people's weddings and baby showers, and you just want a little piece of it for yourself.
Baby showers?
Baby. Baby babies?
Baby showers.
You want some babies?
I do not, thank you.
But these are all her words. Megan is saying that she just wants a little piece of that sort of life for herself, even if it was with someone else's husband. And Monica says, obviously you know it's wrong to be with someone else's husband. Megan says he's not supposed to be married, he's supposed to be with her. And she wishes that God would just tell her what she's supposed to do, and then, literally, it begins to snow unexpectedly.
Yeah, but only on Monica. Did you notice that?
Yeah, you're right. Because not only did we get the name of the episode in the dialogue, we also now get the episode.
We get visuals of the name of the episode.
Monica then reveals to Megan her angelic nature, and tells her that this is your unexpected snow.
So wouldn't you think that means that she expects her to just stand out there in the snow? Because that was the whole metaphor earlier.
Right, either embrace it and become part of it, or run inside and hide.
Or go inside to the warmth. Yeah, right. And the right choice, from what it sounded like the right choice was to stay outside and just deal with it. That's not...
Well, Megan refuses to deal with it.
I hate this so much.
Megan says, "No, I'm not going to give up. This is what's right for me." And Monica promises that there is better for her elsewhere. Though, Monica does not know where. So it's kind of an empty promise, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's
it's one of those things
God.
that people say in general. It's just like, don't worry, there's better for you out there. You literally have no way to know that.
Right. Except Monica is...
Monica's an angel. She doesn't know she's an angel. Megan doesn't know she's an angel yet.
No, she told her.
Oh, does she know now?
Yeah, she told her right before it snowed, I think.
Gotcha. Either way,
after.
she told her the same thing that other people, well-meaning people, say, and then added on that she doesn't know.
She doesn't know where. But
Right.
presumably she talks to God.
Right.
I think she might have even said,
you
God
have a boyfriend in the future.
Right.
Can't tell you when or where.
Right.
Cool.
But the next day, this is after Thanksgiving night, Tess discovers that the turkey is still alive, and Adam, some sort of angel, has tricked her with a turkey-like substance, in his words.
Yeah, which is I want more information.
That's true. Because everyone agreed that it tasted
soy
good.
turkey?
So I don't know what she's complaining about. She's like, "You didn't kill that turkey." He's like, "Did you like the turkey?"
It was very important to Della Reese that turkey died.
Right. I feel like she's got a personal issue with the turkey.
She was obsessed with it.
Maybe it's an old client, and she used her miracle powers to turn it into a turkey, and she's trying to hide the evidence, so she wants to kill it and eat it.
Maybe. Why wouldn't she just kill it and eat it?
Because she wants Adam to do it, because she's not a monster.
Insane. They really were trying to find something to do with her in this
Yeah,
episode.
but really, she's upset that the turkey they ate was great, but it wasn't the turkey she wanted.
You're right.
Like,
it wasn't the live one.
What are you complaining about?
It doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
But husband/boyfriend comes in to say goodbye to Megan, and Tess takes him to a replication of his honeymoon location, and he doesn't initially question it, which is really strange.
Hey, because we're at my honeymoon.
Yeah,
but it's on the other side of the country. Anyway.
She also tells John, the potato man, that she is an angel, but she doesn't have much time, and is going to ensure that by the time they're done, he understands the concept of fidelity. So they have a nice long talk, and he talks about how his wife and him sort of eventually fell apart, and he became scared about how much he had invested in one person.
Yeah.
So he went off and he found someone else.
A whole bunch of excuses. Right.
And he knows that he's supposed to take the journey of his marriage, but he can't seem to find the path to stay on. And so Tess tells him that you just stand up straight and you walk. And if you ever begin to stray again, you just come back to this moment with her, where he understood the concept of fidelity, I guess. So John the Potato Man goes inside to see 90s Megan, and he breaks up with her. More or less. They sort of mutually...
Right. I think they both accept that this is now not a thing anymore.
Yeah, so they kind of move on. And as they leave, Susanna talks to Megan one last time and reveals that she knew who Megan was the whole time, or at least right after John showed up.
Right.
She was like,
She'd have to be a moron not to. But also, I'm glad that she knew the whole time, worth learning that.
Yeah.
But not once was it mentioned that it would be a good idea and the right thing to do to tell the fucking wife what's going on. Like, up until the point where she admits that she already had a good idea about it.
No one talked to Megan at all.
No one talked to Megan. Like, no one talked to Susanna at all. Like, it was
that's
they,
what I meant.
they were acting like just this is between Megan and her and John. You know, like the wife doesn't need to know. Like,
but what Susanna says is she knew her husband was seeing a woman named Megan.
Right, because he talks in his sleep.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't get that part. But she didn't know who.
Right.
And even when she met Megan, she didn't assume, because Megan's a pretty common name.
Right.
But then John showed up, and she saw them interact and was like, oh, that's that Megan.
Yeah. So she figured it out on her own. Nobody was going to tell her.
No one said a word
to
to
me
her.
Is the most egregious thing that's happened in this entire episode. Like, the infidelity is one thing, but then this, like, Angel's getting involved and not considering it important to let the wife know so that she can make her own decision about her life. Whatever.
No, maybe the angels knew she knew. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But Susanna more or less thanks Megan, kinda, for helping her and her husband discover something that was missing in their relationship.
Divorce.
And she says, eventually, I'll forgive you and I'll forgive him.
Right.
But that's literally it. He suffers no consequence except his wife is somewhat upset with him.
Yeah.
But not really, because she's fine. They're canoodling.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
And even the show is apologetic for him as well. They're just like, yep, sometimes marriages, they get a little rocky, so you go and sleep with someone else. Don't worry, we'll punish her.
But it's just very strange because...
It's Megan's fault.
She's known he's been seeing another woman.
Yeah.
So she's if she is upset, she can't be that upset. She's probably made some peace with it because
Right.
it's been at least, let's say, a few weeks.
Right.
And she's like, hey, thanks, Megan. You kind of sorted this out for me. And then she's like, I'll forgive you eventually. But she's not even upset.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It's strange to me.
Whatever. I don't care
Yeah.
if any of them live or die.
But the episode's finally over, and that's literally how it ends.
I
So,
hated it.
what's the best and what's the worst?
Best part, llama.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Also, okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I was under the impression that those monkey butler statues were racist. Am I wrong? Because there's one in this house.
Oh.
In the foreground, in front of Delarice, there is one of those.
I don't know these monkey butler statues.
It's very
The worst is the
prominent.
monkey butler statue.
I don't know, but I'm like, maybe it's not racist. Maybe it's just, it seems racist. And I
Monkey
know
butler
they
is-
used to have like lawn jockeys that were like basically like blackface lawn jockeys.
Mhm.
They're very clearly a problem. But hold on, I'll show you a picture, and it looks exactly
The concept of a monkey butler statue upsets me right away.
immediately.
I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but I don't like it.
They're a thing that, I mean, they've been around forever. Let me find a nice old one so it's nice and creepy. So fucking creepy. This one's more like this is like a more Moroccan monkey, but that's not one. It's one that's dressed like a butler. I don't know. But yeah, default, in my mind, definitely.
It toes the line.
It definitely, at the very least, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one a little bit better. But this one looks more modern. They're still for sale. People are making them. They're on Etsy, so maybe I'm just making something of nothing, but that is a problem, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it. Okay, so worst for me is going to be racist monkey butler.
Yeah. Worse is just, it's all the filler. The turkey story was pointless.
Yeah.
Everything
Also, that
tested in this.
they like call this a Thanksgiving episode, and it had nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
That's true.
Yeah, so
They had a
sorry.
Thanksgiving dinner, which is better than the next one gets.
True.
But Adam's entire character and arc in this was pointless. Why was he here besides to creep out the women?
Yeah.
Which he inevitably had to do because he's a strange man.
He has a tendency to be the only thing bringing levity to episodes.
Yeah.
In our experience so far,
Yeah.
but he's not that funny.
Right. And the best was Roma Downey Jr.'s Roma Downey's strange accent, which I still find amusing. In unexpected snow.
It does seem like an amalgamation of several different accents.
Yes. But, if she's Northern Irish, maybe it's
yeah.
whatever. Alright, so let's move on. We're to Heaven's Portal, the next episode we're watching.
Which is what season?
8.
Season 8, so we really jump ahead.
That's right. And before we get into that, I just want to talk about a little bit about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's the worst holiday.
Agreed.
It's terrible.
Well, it's the worst of the fallish wintry holidays.
I can't think of anyone
Because
that's
there's worse holidays that really don't even need to exist, like President's Day,
Yeah.
and like,
But at least presidents did something.
I mean, nothing happens
Most of
on
them
Labor
bad,
Day.
but-
Labor Day is pretty boring.
Labor Day is for labor.
Yeah, cool. We don't
Yeah.
do anything. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
It doesn't affect me. I have to work.
Cookouts. Do you like cookouts?
I always have to work on Labor Day, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the people who
I don't
literally
care about cookouts.
labor.
You can do cookouts anytime.
Yeah, that's true. People who literally labor are the ones who have to work on Labor Day. It's the irony of it all.
Exactly.
People who work in
So
offices.
that could be a more bullshit holiday than Thanksgiving, actually.
You might be right. But the thing about Thanksgiving is, people make this huge deal about it. You're supposed to hang out with your whole family. I don't want to hang out with my whole family.
I love my family, but it being forced to hang out with family is, especially extended, like, I'm going to say luckily, I feel like I should tiptoe on this a little bit. I don't dislike my extended family, but these kind of events where you are only getting together once every few years or once a year max for the holidays, it's a very, very difficult time for anxious people.
Oh, yeah.
Socially anxious people or seasonal depressives, as I was for the majority of my adult life or growing up life. They were nightmare scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like small talk and catching up with people that you don't really know that well and are also depressed and also you hate crowds.
Right.
So, yeah, and children running around that you don't know.
Thank you. So, my point is, my family gatherings aren't even that big because I don't have an extended family, basically.
Yeah, I have no grandparents left, so that's worked out.
Yeah. But And my family's fine. I get along just fine with the ones that we hang out with. It's just to make it this whole big thing, and it's a holiday, and everyone's supposed to get together.
There's expectations.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
There's no other holidays where people write articles about how to survive it with your family. There aren't. No one writes an article on how to get through Labor Day.
And you know what? Like, the very few, we've talked about it before because we were trying to just, figure out what to do for Thanksgiving for this podcast. There's not a lot out there as an option.
Yeah.
And the few things that I know that are Thanksgiving related are all about conflict.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, honestly, one of my favorite holiday movies ever is called Home for the Holidays. It's a Jodie Foster directed,
yes.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh gosh, Holly Hunter's in it. She's amazing. Robert Downey Jr. It's worth seeing. It's a great movie, but it's a very stressful movie to watch. Mm-hmm. It's just about conflict. It's about people who in the same family who don't get along, who have opposite personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't end terribly or anything like that. There's a reason I can watch it every year, and it's because it's not all bad. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I was having this conversation at work, and people were saying like, the food on Thanksgiving is mediocre at best.
It's never great.
It's never great.
And
even if you make...
The things you do like are things you can literally make anytime.
That's what I was about to say, because I would say, like, turkey's not even the best bird. Ham is the worst way to eat pig.
We haven't had turkey forever.
Right.
I will like a good honey glazed ham. Like, the spiral hams,
I like a ham.
honey baked ham, all delicious.
Yeah, but you can't center a holiday around the worst way to consume the animal.
That's true. Yeah, like if it just...
Hams are great, but they're not as good as bacon. They're not as good as pork chops.
I gotta say, the one thing that I consider a holiday food that was like only for special occasions, only for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, was a recipe my grandmother used to make called chicken supreme, because it involved both chicken and bacon.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It was amazing. We've tried to make it sense. It's just never the same, obviously.
But then everybody is like, oh, but what about, mashed potatoes? Mac and cheese, stuffing. Like, you can make all of those things.
That's
for
on every restaurant. Right. Any restaurant has that as a side option.
That's everywhere and any time. I have mashed potatoes in my fridge right now.
Right.
So I don't need to
I eat sweet potatoes year round because they're the best.
Yeah. I don't need to hang out around and wait for Thanksgiving to eat mashed potatoes.
I don't like
And
pies.
if you're coming to your mom's house to eat mashed potatoes,
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, you really need to broaden your scope of your abilities.
So it's a worthless holiday for stupid reasons, and it celebrates terrible things, and the food is mediocre.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the political ramifications of it. It's like,
I just want to
what
talk
we're actually celebrating is a nightmare scenario where we're the bad guys.
I know.
It's like if the Nazis had won, and then they had a celebration day about the time that they were that one time they shared a meal with Jewish people.
Oh yeah, I guarantee they're celebrating Kristallnacht in alternate reality Germany. Like I don't know when it was, but every August they're like, Kristallnacht!
Exactly.
And that's fucked up and crazy.
Yeah, they're like all the Germans who survived, meaning all the white people, celebrate the one time they were nice to Jewish people.
That would be
and before they murdered them all. Like,
the peace accord 20 years later with the 3,000 remaining Jews in the world.
Exactly. They have like 25 square acres.
They allow 12 Jews every year to be allowed to reproduce. They give them their licenses.
What would be the Jewish equivalent of running a casino?
Oh.
Probably a casino.
A bank.
Oh, God.
No, that's not a thing. That's just history. The Christians and the Muslims.
They would allow them to run the banks?
That's how Jews got, demonized in the first place. Christians and Muslims were both like, we can't do usury, we can't give people money and then have them pay interest.
Right.
So who we have to get to do it? Well, the Jews don't have rules against it, let's make them do it. And then 100 years later, you're like, the goddamn Jews have all the money!
They run out of banks!
It's like, you made them do it! You're so stupid!
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to be difficult.
History is so frustrating.
It is so frustrating. I did in our last episode mention one of my favorite things about the entire holiday season is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yes.
Because it is just ridiculous. And every year it gets a little dumber, and I love it so much. Like floats with children lip syncing that are supposed to be the new Disney stars that you never see again.
Yeah.
And then occasional Broadway performances on the streets, and you have a lot of people in monochromatic sweatsuits doing dances together. It's just my favorite thing.
It sounds crazy.
It's crazy, and I love it. I love it. I only watch the NBC coverage of it because, I mean, I guess Matt Lauer won't be there this year.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone will be safe to leave as they'd like.
All the ladies are going to be safe.
So they can leave the room if they want to. It's not funny, but
anyway,
it's funny.
yeah, no, I've watched it every year for as long as I can remember, and it's one of my favorite activities. I actually tend to watch it over the phone with Andrea, wherever she is, because she has the same connection to it, and then we just, in real time, make fun of the whole thing.
Great. All right, so now instead of Thanksgiving and somehow anti-Semitism...
Yeah.
We open with Tess handing the keys to her kingdom to Valerie Bertinelli. That's right. Valerie Bertinelli's in this show now.
Yep.
And it's like young Valerie Bertinelli? Younger? I don't know. She's only like 58 or something right now.
Yeah, so she had to have been...
This is early 2000s.
Yeah, I was going to say, she seemed like she was in like her early 30s, maybe?
That could be, yeah.
Something like that.
Or 40s, I guess. She's 50-something now. Point is, she's young. Or at least looks young. She always looks young.
She always looks young. Yeah. She has a very little kid face.
But Valerie...
Baby face is what I'm trying to say.
Valerie is playing an angel named Gloria. And the little backstory I know about her is that she was created in the 21st century.
Right. So she's technically a baby angel.
She's a baby angel.
Yeah.
Because the other angels are thousands and thousands of years old.
It's a little embarrassing watching her act it, actually.
That's true. But Valerie is very excited to get the chance to drive the car, because that's what the kingdom is for Tess. It's that little red car they drive around. And we also have a new addition to the show, Andrew, in the back seat.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there with Monica, and they're very nervous about this drive.
Yeah.
Andrew is...
New Adam.
Basically New Adam.
Yeah.
And if Adam was an angel of death, Andrew's also an angel of death. Maybe the
He's
angel of
literally
death.
a replacement, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly his role, but he is a death angel.
Right.
Gloria gets to drive the car, and she drives into a trash can right away. She backs in.
Yep.
But she recovers, and she starts to drive extremely fast, but skillfully.
Yeah.
While playing extremely loud, sort of techno-pop music.
Yeah, it's very, Casio?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sampler techno sound, and
With
it's awful. Awful. It's awful.
But I can't tell if Gloria's trying to be an asshole on purpose, or if she's just having fun. She's a, reckless nature.
She's supposed to be like a teenager, essentially.
Yeah, because she's doing it all very recklessly, but she's also got very good control. Like, she's going way too fast.
No, she's pulling some, crazy Dukes of Hazzard shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just also the people in the car do not want this right now.
No.
Dukes of Hazzard, the guys are like, woo!
Yeah.
These people are like, stop, motherfucker!
We're in a suburb!
Right. But she's eventually forced to stop by Tess. And this is when she explains it a little bit. She says she was created in the 21st century, and unlike the others, she's homesick, and she hangs out in heaven when she's not on Earth on assignment.
Yeah.
So she spends all this time with God, and that's really great. And then she gets come down here, and she's stuck with these people.
Yeah, and she misses God.
Misses God, her dad. And that sucks. So she tries to live it up while she is down here.
Right. Listen to that 21st century music, as they call it. They actually call it that.
That's true. And this sort of segues into the episode proper, because Tess points out, 30 feet from them, a teenager who's also homesick. And he just wants home to be the way that it used to. Mm-hmm. And so we cut to the inside of his home, and his parents are fighting again. And this is Nick. And the family gathers around because the parents are finally announcing their separation due to all of the fighting. Nick storms from the house, leaving his two little sisters behind because he's upset about his parents separating. Mm-hmm. And the angels discuss his plans. Gloria sees a bumper sticker on his car, and it's peace, love, unity, and respect.
Yeah.
And Tess says when someone can't find those things at home, they go elsewhere to find it. And in Nick's case, that is a rave called Heaven's Portal.
Yep.
The name of the episode. And that's when we get our intro song.
Yep.
And because we've got the introduction of the episode, we know what to expect. Mm-hmm. Hillary, you have a one-sentence description of this episode you'd like to introduce us to?
I do. Let's see what I wrote down. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, the kid from Sleepless in Seattle grows up to hate his father and love techno music.
It's true?
Yeah.
I hate my father.
Yeah. But also, does this kid not look exactly like the guy from Hurricane Heist? Because that's who I thought it was at first.
Holy shit,
he does. Exactly like him. So I thought it was a baby him.
Yeah.
And I was actually just gonna I was gonna say that guy from Hurricane Heist. So I looked it up, I'm like, no, even better. He's the child from Sleepless in Seattle, like Kindergarten Cop, and several other.
Yeah.
90s
Holy crap!
shows.
It does really hurt. Are you sure it's not him?
I looked it up. I looked up him, and I looked up
different people.
Right, different people. Twinzos.
They look exactly alike.
Yep.
Like, it's weirder that the kid from Sleepless in Seattle became this guy because they don't look alike at all.
No, if I picture that kid, I'm like, I can't even see him becoming the kid that we're watching in this episode, and it is him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the strange part.
I know, it's bizarro.
So, yeah, so that's a nice...
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
As Nick... We're back into the episode.
Yeah.
And as Nick makes plans to go to Heaven's Portal, he's smoking the devil's lettuce.
Yep.
And his mom catches him while Dad is downstairs saying goodbye to the girls.
Is that a marijuana cigarette?
Do you have marijuana? So sometime later, Tess has infiltrated Dad's place of business so she can get close to him.
Dad, by the way, is Peter Scolari. Do you know him?
He looks very familiar.
He's
I know him.
Been around forever. He was in Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks back in the day.
Okay.
He's in... Well, he was in Girls. He was, like, Lena Dunham's dad in Girls.
That's how I know him.
Yeah, and I saw him on Broadway. He was actually the Wizard of Oz in Wicked. I saw when I was in New York.
That's the...
Yeah, he's all over the place. Newhart, he's in Newhart. For all the oldies out there.
But Tess has infiltrated Dad's place of business so she can get close to him. And discovers that he currently has no plans for Thanksgiving. And for her part, Monica is playing the part of family therapist with Nick and Mom. Mm-hmm. And Nick is told
with her new straight hair.
That's true. She has straight hair.
Yeah,
now.
Shiny new hip.
Nick is told that drugs aren't allowed in their family. But he retorts that there is no family left. They're actually waiting for Dad to arrive. They're actually waiting for Dad to arrive at family therapy. But he is late. And when he does arrive, he's immediately preoccupied with phone calls because he's trying to save his business.
Yep.
This turns into a fight between Mom and Dad because Nick has stormed out of the room again. And they're fighting because Dad's always been much busier with work than he is with his own family, which irritates Mom. Whereas Mom was trying to find work to help pay the bills, which emasculates Dad because he's an idiot.
Toxic masculinity ruins the party again.
Right. So Dad runs out working on phone calls while Mom complains about having so much to do, especially with the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, upcoming. You have a shit ton to do.
Right.
You're doing a full Thanksgiving dinner.
Monica recommends a good babysitter for the children, who is, predictably, one of the angels, and it's Gloria. So Gloria arrives at the place, Nick's home, and she meets Nick, who's still very sour about being grounded for smoking reefer, and resents having a babysitter because he's old enough to drive and is a grown-ass man, basically.
Right.
On the plus side for him...
Do we know how old he is exactly?
I believe they say 16.
Okay, so he's like barely old enough to drive.
He is, but like he doesn't need a babysitter.
He doesn't need
he's old enough to take care of his sister.
No, like, well, the reason the babysitter is like, she doesn't trust him to watch the girls now because he smokes pot.
Right.
He's angry and he smokes
2 weeks ago it would have been fine.
Yeah, like, no, he watched him last week, but now he listens to techno. Can't be trusted.
He's going to become a robot and he's going to infect the children with robotness. Because only robots listen to techno, obviously.
No, exactly, yeah.
That's the rules.
Come on, sucker, lick my battery.
What?
That's from Flight of the Conchords. The Humans Are Dead. It's one of the best songs of all time.
Okay, I'm doing it later. I'm listening to that. So, on the plus side for Nick, Dad is coming home for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. I guess Thanksgiving is tomorrow now. Mm-hmm. Although, who knows? The timeline in this episode is bizarre.
And Thanksgiving is really wedged in there. It's not even a thing.
But Mom leaves the room, and so Nick immediately confesses to his new babysitter that he's planning on going to the Heaven's Portal rave tomorrow night.
Yeah, they become best friends immediately.
Because when a teenager is given a babysitter, they would clearly confess all of their nonsense within 8 seconds of their parents being out of earshot.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, welcome to my room. Here, sit down. Let me tell you about all my plans.
Yeah, I'm gonna masturbate.
Yeah.
In that chair you're sitting in. Mm-hmm. I'm going to... Here's my pot.
You got a few more pots.
This is where I keep all my pots. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to a rave tomorrow.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna go to the mall and hope that I can convince Stacy to touch my penis.
Yep, there you go.
They're like, why are you telling this to this woman?
She's like, I don't like this. And he's like, well, okay.
Like, what kind of teenager do they imagine exists that's just going to immediately spill their secrets?
This kid is not a representation of a teenager whatsoever. Or a human, really.
Yeah, or anybody.
There's no human actual reactions happening.
But on Thanksgiving Day, Gloria the babysitter is present because who doesn't bring their babysitter around when both parents are home?
They literally just met this woman, and
Yes.
now she is a part of their life every day.
And she's not just a babysitter because mom is home.
Yeah.
So why do you need a babysitter? Dad is coming home because it's Thanksgiving.
Right. Well, they hope he's coming home. She says, she asked her to stay for, to help out.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to put together an entire Thanksgiving meal on her own while she has 3 kids, one of which is smoking the reefer. So she doesn't have things under control, and I guess she needs Valerie Bertinelli to help out.
But what does Valerie do to help out? She does a puzzle.
She does a puzzle too well to where the kids don't get to do a puzzle.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
No,
this
I don't
isn't
know
how babysitting works.
Another quality writing job.
But Dad comes home for Thanksgiving dinner, and he's disappointed that his loan didn't come through. But the kids point out that on the plus side, Mom has found a job. So, having been home for all of 3 minutes, Dad is completely disheartened, and he leaves Thanksgiving because his wife found work.
Child man. He is a baby man.
Nick follows him outside and calls him out for being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But Dad says it's more complicated than that, and it's not just that he has a fragile male ego.
Right.
Nick says he knows it's because Dad doesn't love them anymore. And Dad says it's not that. It's that he can't stand to let them see him this way.
Right.
How ominous.
You're letting him see you pretty pathetic. This
Right.
is pretty pathetic.
I know the idea, and Facing the Giants covered this, and they did it much better, I think.
Much better.
Where the guy is just I'm not good at this.
Right. I failed in all these ways that I didn't expect to.
Right. And that sucks, and that can be disheartening. I get it.
Yeah.
But my business is failing. I get it. You're upset. My wife has a job, and now I just can't deal with this family.
Right, your
Makes
wife
no
is
fucking sense.
bending over backwards to try to keep the family together.
Right.
And your reaction is, I wanted to keep the family together.
It's supposed to be me.
I'm the man.
It doesn't count unless I do it.
Stop, slam the door.
Fucking idiot.
I know, I hate this so much.
Nick is sad, and Gloria tries to comfort him, but Nick steals his car keys and decides that he's running off to the rave. Gloria gets in front of the car to stop him, and he tells her to either back off or get in. So she gets in. And an angel at a rave. That's pretty badass.
It kind of is.
So we now cut to see a bunch of people.
Neither of them wearing the right outfits for a rave.
It
they
seems like...
They stand out like a sore thumbs.
Well, they do. We'll get there.
Kinda.
Because we now see people raving. And they even come across a woman who's dressed as an angel. Mm-hmm. But Gloria knows that's no real angel.
Angels don't have wings.
Right.
That's the difference between you two.
They are pointed out as newbies, which is kind of what you're saying. They do stand out.
Yeah, she looks like a teacher.
Absolutely. They're like, are you guys first-timers? And they're like, yeah. And so people come over and they're like, make sure they have a good time.
And the blazer is the thing that sets it off the most.
The Ravers' code, as they explain, is peace, love, unity, and respect. And further still, their mood of choice is good old-fashioned ecstasy.
Yep, which she misconstrues as the feeling of ecstasy and not the pill form of drugs.
Mm-hmm. And taking these notes, I realized that I have a really hard time spelling ecstasy.
Oh, really?
I had to try multiple times. I was like, ecstasy. No, ecstasy. Fuck.
It's like exercise. Every now and then I'm like, wait a second.
Gloria does some X after being told that it will help her see God, and because she's naive.
Yep.
She does not like the taste, but it's too late now. She's already done it. Tess and Andrew, the Angel of Death, are also at the rave.
It's a pill. I don't know what taste she's talking about.
Pills have tastes.
You just swallow it.
That's true. But pills still have tastes.
Yes.
I think most pills do. That's why you put the water in you.
Yeah.
If you just
That's it. If you do it correctly, you get no taste. But
yeah.
If you're just letting it sit on your tongue for a little bit, whatever.
Is ecstasy in dissolving pills where you're supposed to dissolve it?
No.
Because if you...
maybe it can be, but I've never had it. It's always just been a pill that I took.
Oh. I've never done ecstasy.
It's the best. I love it.
But
for the record, I don't do drugs anymore. This is past Hillary recollecting.
You can do all the drugs you want.
I know. I'm just saying. Hey, future employers. Not a problem. I was once in my 20s, as we all were.
Tess and Andrew, the Angel of Death, are also at the rave. But they're only here because Nick is high as a fucking kite, and Gloria is indulging him rather than getting him home and or preventing him from coming here in the first place. You know, her job.
She's doing a terrible, terrible job.
Of course, this is primarily because Gloria is also high, despite being an angel. A fact that she lets the group of ravers know.
Yeah.
She says, I'm an angel. I'm an angel.
Yeah, she's really annoying.
She also thinks that she's not high, but we will find out. She's high.
Uh-huh.
Gloria parties alongside Nick until a rave version of the Book of Genesis begins to talk about how they go over the days of creation.
Right.
And on the 5th day, he created the rave.
Yeah, she was all on board with it. She's like, oh, cool. Yeah. Bible verses. And then she's like, wait, that's not right.
And on the 6th day, he created dance. Yeah. So Tess comes by to reprimand Gloria for being a fool. But Gloria's too high to give a shit right now.
She's so high and happy.
So we're back at home, and Mom checks in on Nick and finds out that he is missing, and he is at Heaven's Portal. So she gets in the car to run after him after calling supposed family therapist Monica. Because she tries Dad, he doesn't answer. So she calls Monica, the only person who's helping her,
She
I
has
guess.
no friends or other family,
It's so
I guess.
strange.
It's so strange.
They arrive at the rave, Mom and Monica, and Monica finds Andrew, who reveals that Nick is in the chill room, and because he's beginning to come down from his high. And Tess goes to see Dad at his office, and tells him that it's time to go home and act like an adult again. She reveals to Dad her angelness, and tells him that his family's in trouble because he's turned his back on his family just because things didn't go the way he wanted. Finally, somebody's telling this man to get his shit together, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Your business failed. Okay.
Yeah.
Go home.
Deal with it. Yeah.
Deal with it.
No,
with your wife, who's doing everything she can to deal with it for you.
I'm glad that they're finally talking to a dude about his role in anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't get any reprimands in this one, which is good.
Good, because she doesn't deserve
She's
it.
the one who's doing this
literally holding the entire thing together.
Nick and Gloria are both coming down, and they both feel really empty.
Yeah.
Is this the after effects of ecstasy?
Not from my experience. I'm not going to say it's not how somebody feels, or maybe, I feel like maybe if you did X consistently for a period of time and then stopped,
yeah,
you would probably have a come down like that. But your first time ever doing X, my first time doing X, there was almost no come down whatsoever.
Yeah. Just eventually you were back to
you're
normal.
Asleep, usually because, well, if there's a come down, it's because you're mixing it with other things too.
Yeah.
And so just your body being like, what the fuck?
This was Strange People Ecstasy, so
right.
It could be anything.
I mean, it could have been cut with something else. Who knows? Yeah.
Okay.
The likelihood of them getting, like, pure MDMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're coming down and they both feel really empty, and Gloria is ashamed of herself and doesn't deserve to be an angel anymore. And Nick mentions his parents, which freaks everyone else out in the
Why are
room.
you mentioning parents?
Because the only reason people do drugs is to cover up their intense emotional drama. Everyone knows that.
I know, this is such fear-mongering. This is, like, from the point of view of a parent's worst nightmare situation for their kids.
I'm not saying that people who do drugs don't necessarily have emotional problems.
Yeah.
But that's not why people do drugs.
Also, what humans don't have emotional
exactly.
problems in some way.
Yeah, I have plenty of emotional problems, and I do not do drugs. I'm not interested.
Right. I was a curious person who wanted to try things before I died.
Exactly.
And I didn't get hooked on anything because I don't have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
I just tried things, and I'm glad I did. No regrets.
I'm not against it. I'm not saying I won't. I'm saying I haven't.
Right, yeah, no, yeah.
I read an article once about a former homeless guy who did heroin when he was homeless. Mm-hmm. He was like, you know why I did heroin? I don't even like heroin that much. It passed the time.
Yeah.
I'm homeless. I didn't have a job. I spent all my days outside on the
Nothing
street.
Nothing else was. Yeah.
Heroin will make an hour or 9 hours pass very quickly. So he's like, so I did heroin. It was great.
That's a great story.
And then when I got my life together, which wasn't a result of heroin, I stopped.
There's also a lot of information coming out about the positive effects of MDMA used for PTSD.
Yeah.
Which is why one of my friends and I did it, because she had some issues with that, and she was curious. She had done a lot of research on it. It was a very, controlled thing. We weren't in a rave. We were watching music videos.
Yeah.
And touching blankets.
Did you grind your teeth?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. Yeah, that's what the pacifiers are for.
Yeah. Upon Mom and Monica finding Nick and Gloria in the chill room, Nick and Gloria run away. And on their way out, Andrew tells Monica that they only have until sunrise. And considering that he's the angel of death, I take this to be a very bad sign for someone. Though it's unclear exactly who. Just because I was
the only human being involved in this, really, it seems like it has to be him.
Yeah, but it could be mom or dad. You have to make peace with them before your mom or dad dies.
Oh, yeah.
They're older.
Right. Gotcha.
Or your sister, even. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. She's barely in it.
Right.
She's literally there to let, I guess, Christians know that it's okay to like Harry Potter.
They do mention Harry Potter.
Yeah, they mention Harry Potter, at the very beginning. The dad said something about Harry Potter, and then she's like, take Hedwig with you. And she has, a stuffed Hedwig doll that she gives him for comfort.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, running away, Nick and Gloria make it to a nice bluff just as the sun rises. Uh-oh. Gloria is distressed because she's lost her connection with God because of the ecstasy, maybe. And Nick is distressed because he'd rather be dead than stuck in a family with a mom that doesn't get it and a dad who visits on weekends and holidays.
This is fucking tense.
It's crazy.
He wasn't really depressed before this. He was upset that his family was not a unit anymore for one day.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like in a serious depression.
Yeah, now
like,
he's
a mild calm down would throw him into suicide. Like, whatever. Extreme.
His parents are still going to fight no matter what, and Gloria prays for an answer on just what she's supposed to do. And Nick restarts the car because he's going to drive off the cliff. Because when he said he'd rather be dead, he apparently meant it. Mm-hmm. He asks Gloria to get out while
he's willing to murder her too.
Yeah, because he says get out while there's still time, but she refuses. So he's like, "Fuck it, we're driving.
We're both going over this cliff." Yeah.
Now a dove appears, which we have all learned is a sign of God. Mm-hmm. So Gloria now knows what to do. She grabs the wheel of the car and she kicks Nick out of the car. Literally,
manages to
pushes him.
Yeah, I can't figure out the logistics of that.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's impossible.
But she opens the door and she throws Nick out of the car.
God opened the door for her.
Probably.
And she pushed him out despite the seatbelt.
Yeah, but he falls out and she drives the car off the cliff. Nick calls for her, hoping that she's okay, just as Monica and his parents arrive and finally catch up with him. While he's still worried about Gloria, Monica tells him that they are both angels and therefore can't die, and delivers a message from God to Nick. He's disappointed with some of the choices he's made. You choose anger over compassion and love. Found peace in drugs rather than in him. Capital H, him. But he wants Nick to know that he forgives him and loves him more than he can ever imagine. And he wants to be a source of strength for Nick, just like he wants Nick to be a source of strength for his own family. And if Nick opens himself up to God, he'll show him what real ecstasy is. Yeah, that last part sounds weird.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
He wants some
I'll
real
show
ecstasy.
You what real ecstasy is. No, thank you.
Last time, Jesus come. Okay. The episode's almost over, so let's push through it. Monica gives Mom a lecture on what it means to be a family, and everyone makes up and they're very happy again because God and the angels fixed everything. And Gloria climbs out of the car and puts her glasses back on, apologizing to Tess for messing up so bad. Tess isn't too worried about it, because she knows that Gloria can be better, and she delivers a godly message to Gloria now. So another dove appears and everyone goes home happy, and that's the episode.
You did it, guys.
Whew.
Well done.
We made it through Thanksgiving times.
Boo. Boo.
No, what's the best and what's the worst of this one?
Best is the girl that got shoehorned into the rave segment to show that not all people who go to raves are there for drugs.
Oh yeah, she was just hanging out being like childish.
There was a girl that like she's like just there with like her stuffed animal all dressed up and like fun. Like honestly, the dressing and all that, I can understand why that's so fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But, and then some guy approaches her all, like, loopy and, like, whoa, and she's like, I don't do drugs, thanks, though. Like, and they point to her later, they're like, see, that girl's here just for the music. She just likes to have fun and feel like a kid again. Yeah. So I like that, and I like that they did that they didn't just blanket statement, all kids who go to raves are getting high and fucked up, yeah.
But all kids who do drugs
go to raves.
Are dealing with emotional trauma.
Exactly. Yeah. That is true. That is true, yeah.
No, that's just facts.
That's a fact. What's your best?
My best is gonna be the crazy-ass climax of Nick deciding to drive off a cliff with another woman in the car.
0 to 60.
He went from 0 to 180.
Right, that's true.
Like, oh man, my life is really hard. I'm gonna drive off this cliff. And Gloria's like, I'm not leaving this car. And he's like, I'm gonna drive us both off this cliff. Like, there's a series of decisions there.
Yeah.
Each of which would have stopped anybody who has a normal...
Yeah, that was a sharp curve.
He's fucking nuts.
It is.
And the worst is just the druggy fear-mongering.
Yeah. I was probably going to say the same thing for worst.
Just, again, the notion
just, like,
that...
complete misunderstanding of what a teenager is and what their lives are like, and instead fear-mongering and, like, like, the people who are watching this show are a lot of parents.
Yeah.
And parents who are already, this is the 90s, so you're getting a lot of news clips like, do you know where your kids are?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like today at 8, kids raves, all this like stuff, like terrifying parents.
Yeah.
It's how the whole like satanic panic thing started. Whatever.
Yeah, so your kids are fine.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
help
fine,
your
they're
kids make
teenagers.
smart decisions, but sometimes you're gonna do drugs.
Yeah.
And they're probably gonna be okay.
And you should want them to. You want your kids to have a full life.
Like, they're probably gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And if they're not, make sure...
Teach them how to learn from
If
their
your
mistakes.
kids
That's a
aren't
big
fucking
thing.
concerned about keeping secrets from you, they'll probably be able to let you know if they have a fucking problem.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I tried cocaine and I'm really fucked up.
Right.
Like, oh, well, let's help you.
Oh,
Not, how dare you? Now you're addicted to coke.
You're going to hell. You can't have a car.
Like, that's not helpful.
I know. It's whatever.
Okay, so let's talk about some things that are like this.
Oh, that's the thing I forgot to take.
I
notes
couldn't
of.
think of anything, if I'm being honest.
And I just, actually, it's already been mentioned. The only thing that's Thanksgiving based,
Oh, yeah.
worth watching is, well, at least to me, the only thing that I watch that's Thanksgiving related is Home for the Holidays. Watch that, not this.
Okay, that's great. Mine are going to be basically Thanksgiving episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how closely related to Thanksgiving they are. I don't remember the one.
Mm-hmm.
But Always Sunny in Philadelphia has a hilarious Thanksgiving episode because
Okay.
it's a hilarious show.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm not sure I've seen that actually.
They invite all of their enemies over to make peace because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a great.
And that's a great
concept.
series.
Yeah.
And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I've been really into recently,
Mm-hmm.
has good Thanksgiving episodes.
That's true. It does. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Man, for a moment there, I thought it was canceled, and they brought it back from another network, and
I
it was
know.
a very exciting
I
time.
know. So that's all I got, really.
No, that's fine. Those are great choices.
But now let's really quickly talk about next week.
What's next week, Josh?
What are we doing next week, Hillary?
Saved by Grace.
Yeah, you want to know what Joey Lawrence is up to?
I do.
Well, come on and find out. To get you hyped for this film, let me talk about the top review on Amazon. I'm just going to read it.
Please do.
And this is not the first one. This is the one that's labeled most helpful, most relevant.
How many stars?
I don't remember, 3
Okay.
out of 5. I don't know. Only those who have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ could understand his faith, trust, and eternal sovereignty and omniscience. Christ, the Anointed One, Jesus my Savior, had a plan for all of us before we were formed in our mother's womb. He knew where we would be, what we would be, and how we would become that person he planned for us to be. Lord, I thank you for your mercy, which kept me until your grace could save me. That's the review for this movie. That is all of it, by the way. That is the complete
believe
review.
that.
There's not a word about this movie.
Saved by Amazon.
So that's what we have to look forward to
Oh,
next week.
goodness. Oh,
A movie that deserves that review, apparently.
Well, they were inspired, at least.
Right. And remember, if you like the show, please give us some of those 5-star reviews and whatever podcast app or service you are using, and tell your friends about us any way that you can because we need the publicity.
Yeah, sure.
Links to everything, including our social media, are in the description of this episode. And go to our website and send us a comment or a question so we can do a mailbag.
Yay.
Yeah?
Do all those things.
You could send me a question.
I can just text you.
I know. But you could also do it anonymously. Like, why are you such a douchebag?
I should do that. I don't think Hillary gets enough hair time.
And as always, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. I hope your Thanksgiving sucks.
Die on turkey legs.
That's right.